Good morning, day traders, and welcome to Market Minute, a hedge fund trader's technical analysis of the stock market for Friday, March 18th, 2022. Let's get after it. So today we need to be very cautious about this triple witching that we're seeing here this morning, right? That means that on the third Friday of every March, June, September, and December, we've got three key events are coming together all at once. So this creates an extreme amount of volatility as the expiration of single stock options, futures on stock indexes, and options on stock indexes all expire here today. We're estimating that approximately $3.5 trillion of $3.5 trillion of single stock options and index level options are going to expire today. So that is an unprecedented amount of volatility where we should see an extreme volume standard here today. Historically, right, these quad witching and triple witching days are very challenging to trade as you have a lot of really screwy and funky option behavior here today. My objective is to not trade anything that expires today and instead look for option expiration that expires on Monday, right, or next week. This morning, right, very similar price action here to yesterday where we're getting that sort of gap down into sort of the middle of the range before then showing us that sort of bullish or bearish momentum. SPY needs to break out over that 441.50 for a move towards that 444, which seems fairly unlikely to do that early on this morning. We can look for breakdowns under this 433.30, but then we're selling into a high volume trend day there on Wednesday. So need to remain very cautious and sort of just assume this market's going to be choppy until sort of proven otherwise. Very similar story here on QQQ, but at least we are a little bit closer towards that 344.70, right, 345 breakout target here this morning. If it can break out on volume, then it certainly looks like it has room up towards that 346, right, 348 areas, but we need to remain a little bit cautious as it might kind of just give us that, strange volume grind up that prevents us from getting that A+ setup. Apple, very similar look here, decreasing daily volume, right? A little bit of a gap down, so losing a little bit of that momentum here this AM. Would like to see this thing break out over that 161.10 for a move towards that 162, 163, and then eventually that 165 zone. Just like yesterday, right? Anticipate that 163 area to end up being some relatively key resistance. And if we can clear that on volume, then this thing can really pop for us this morning. Tesla, right, looking pretty strong, or maybe the strongest of all sort of these names. We're sort of $15 away from sort of our breakout target, which isn't too much here on Tesla. If we can break out over that 880, we start to move $10 at a time towards that 900 barrier. If that 900 can clear on volume, then Tesla can start to move like $20 at a time towards like that 920, and then that like 935, right, 940 areas. Microsoft continues to sort of consolidate here within this sort of range, unable to break out above this 297, right, resistance, trend line resistance, point of confluence, essentially. If we can break out on strong volume, then it should give us an opportunity to pop and test that 300, but just keep struggling at that zone. So still looking for it to pop over that 297.40 for a move towards that 299, 300, and then 303 areas. Otherwise, right, start to get bearish under that 275. NVDA and AMD will continue to likely be in play here today. AMD is going to be one to the downside if we're able to get that follow through under this 109.50. And then NVIDIA, right, if we can get that continuation breakout over that 248.50, we start to have some room towards that 250 area. In general, this is a market that still remains relatively choppy and grinds up on sort of low volume, or at least was grinding up on low volume there yesterday. Now that we're sort of gapping down back inside sort of the middle of these ranges, the expectation is that that low volume grind or sort of that grind price action continues here today. So remaining very cautious, remaining very patient, and not trading anything that expires today. So have yourselves a great day, guys. Happy hunting. Best of luck out there, and see you all on Monday for the next Market Minute.